Welcome to the Professors. We ain't crazy. We're licensed.
That's a goddamn lie.
Who gave us a license?
I don't know.
First
'cause
state.
I'm starting to think we're
List
crazy
out
as
those
fuck.
states: Nevada, Colorado,
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
You licensed
I'm
anywhere
sure.
else?
No, I'm only licensed here so far. I'm Dr. Mark Brana, licensed clinical professional counselor and a little bit crazy myself.
Casey Casillas Nichols, licensed. Licensed clinical.
Do you have your license?
I do. I got licenses. Just don't ask
Right,
about me. I got
right.
licenses.
She's the head bitch in charge.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
HPIC.
That's it. That's
HPIC.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And who are you?
Shamika Green,
Tesla Queen of
licensed
Detroit.
marriage, family. What the fuck I do? Licensed marriage and family therapist. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. This is gonna be crazy. I
This
can
is gonna
already
be
tell.
crazy,
I
for
can't
sure.
even stop laughing, and I don't even know why.
And a happy Father's Day to all the
Happy
fathers.
Father's Day, yes,
To all you motherfuckers.
all the ones I
Because
did.
you can't be a father without fucking a mother.
That's true, and the ones I will do in the future. This one's for you. For you, and for you.
So
All right.
today we're going to be talking a little bit honestly, a little bit raw.
Are we though?
Are we?
Are we going to be talking honestly? Because that doesn't seem to be
Oh.
the temperature outside right
Oh.
now in this city.
Oh,
Ain't
Fair.
nobody talking honest outside.
Fair.
So I don't mean to come for you like that. But I just realized.
It ain't coming from me.
I just realized I'm
Preach
like,
your truth, sister.
come first. Throw. My bad. That's not.
Are we? Are we gonna
Really?
get fucking real?
Like some shit was starting in the parking lot before we done walked in.
Damn.
She's coming.
Okay.
Okay.
So just so you guys know, like Mark, Shamika, and I have a group text, and
Oh God.
And it is fire and it will never be released for public record.
Never.
facts.
Never.
But I'm like the shittiest participant in there. I'm like
Untrue.
the silent.
Completely untrue.
No, I feel like sometimes.
No, we said let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm speaking my truth. I be on fuck shit and not answering because I'm always fucking working. Just
Right.
always working, right? And lately,
I guess that means we're not working.
well,
She's at the freak off.
yeah, the nails
Do we get
ain't
the
white.
oil?
The nails ain't white, so don't come for me.
Oh my God.
And I would never, East Coast rapper, please. I grew up during that beef. How dare you?
I'm
I
sorry.
would never.
Clutch
I
the
would
pearls.
never.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I've been going through like a shit ton of interviews,
Right.
and it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing and appalling, and
Conflating.
yeah, with just
Mark.
with just the shit that has been said to me. Like I'm just so tired of being lied to, and it's like not even in my personal. I'm just so tired of being lied to in this profession that I could literally scream.
Hence
Okay.
the topic. Bitch, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Right?
bitch. Let's be honest.
Bitch, let's be
And
honest.
we have to be. And so
No,
when
apparently that's not a thing in the
Oh,
city
no.
with some therapists. They don't believe that they have to be.
well, and it's a shame.
Like, I'm
Because
mad
you
as
mi-
fuck. I'm
You
so
missed
mad.
some golden opportunities. As a matter of fact, I had an interview today with a potential supervisee, and I'm pretty sure I scared them off because I was honest about how I am and how I go about things.
Mm.
And that was a very short interview because they're like, I think I know which way I'm going. I'll get back to you.
You're like, not with you, sir. Dr. Brana.
Right. I think it's a truth, though, that we always talk about gatekeeping, right?
Correct.
Like we are some kind of way, found our way being gatekeepers and just
Mhm.
keeping it real. Everybody don't have it.
Right.
Everybody don't have it.
But you
right?
gotta be real with yourself when you
Right.
don't. And I know that we spoke on this shit at some point in this podcast. We have
Correct.
spoken
But
either
we had to bring it back.
a snippet or some shit.
Yeah.
But now I'm mad
'Cause
because
life is
Johnny had
tested.
5 apples because somebody didn't get it.
because I don't
Yeah.
like motherfuckers coming up to me saying some shit like, yeah, I'm for the people. I want to be
Okay.
able to help. Everybody knows the population I work with. Okay.
Correct.
So
There is no mistake in that.
unsheltered,
Right.
SMI, the works.
Mhm.
When I say that I paint the ugliest picture during an interview, it's almost like you would think I'm trying to have them not want the job, right?
Mhm.
But I want
But
to
you're
be
being honest. Yeah,
Because
you need to let people
I'm
know.
not trying to walk into a place where I get freaking okey doked by my potential boss.
Facts.
Correct.
And then the whole dynamic of the work relationship is already fucked because now they're not going to trust me because I'm
Some
just
fuck
out
shit.
here like
Right.
bullshitting somebody, right?
Well, and you work in a tough setting where you don't want them coming in thinking that this is a setting of lollipops and unicorns where life is just
right.
dandy.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
the people that you're dealing with, they're going through shit.
For sure.
yeah, real life shit.
And
So then if that's the case, don't sit here and tell
Correct.
me, oh no, I got a lot of patience for everybody. I got a lot of this, and this for everybody.
hmm,
While meanwhile, motherfucker takes off his shirt like he's gonna fight one of the clients.
oh,
Was this a clinician?
No,
Or,
well, this
I
is
mean, not even a
a
clinician, but
person
this is
in the helping
employee?
in
Yeah.
a helping position, I'll say.
well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know that there's a job setting where that's really appropriate. Maybe at the boxing school,
Maybe.
maybe, but even then, you're kind of pushing it.
Yeah,
But
because even
like,
as a
I mean-
barista, you can't even.
Yeah, Starbucks gonna fire your ass. You throw down that apron and
That's what
go.
I'm just saying.
but
Go-
I just don't. I can't.
I'm gonna go to blows with
understand.
you, Karen, over this caramel macchiato.
Yeah.
Right. Bitch, you want 2 pumps? Okay.
Right, left.
Right,
left.
Right.
But that's what I understand. Like, straight up wanted to square up with the motherfucker. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And then just people coming in after I done said everything that is everything,
hmm
come in and be like, yeah, I can't do this shit. Ain't nobody tell me. And I was like, nobody told you what? Like,
Mhm.
say that shit to my face. I just been on it. Like,
you've been
I
on some real
can't.
G shit and being honest. And I think too, at this age and stage, you shouldn't really be lying like that. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Just be
Mhm.
honest, right? I mean, we talked about in previous episodes when we
Right.
might have lied about
Self-awareness.
jobs. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was me. Let me not
Yeah.
just say we.
We've all done Microsoft Excel spreadsheets.
But here's the difference. And this is why I'm
Okay.
glad that you
I'm
brought that up.
texting you,
Here's the
Reggie.
difference between Shamika's okey doke compared
Right.
to somebody else's.
My Excel.
Is that her
Shit.
Excel sheet is not going to affect somebody's emotional temperament or somebody's trigger somebody's trauma.
Unless-
Like her Excel
That's right.
spreadsheet is
Yeah.
not that hard.
I still don't got it. But
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's not going to be hurting people. But we're talking about
Right.
Right.
cats in the helping field, like actively just losing their fucking mind.
hmm
I
And
just
it's-
can't.
And
I
it's
just
not
can't.
right because you're supposed to be held to a certain standard, right?
Correct.
Supposed to be, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Clearly, that's not.
while there's a lot of well-intentioned people that go into the field, there's also a lot of
Casey like bullshit.
there are a lot of people that are in this field and they should not be in the field because they are not mentally fit, or they came into
Oh,
the
that's
field
facts.
with intentions of doing harm
That's
to
facts.
people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, there are clinicians that I know of in other states and even in Nevada where they've gotten themselves caught up in things because they were setting the tone,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And they had bad intentions for the people they were working with.
yeah.
A clinician that a colleague of mine
Mm-hmm.
was supervising
Okay.
was struggling with one person, and I believe that she ended up gatekeeping them and reporting them because it seemed as if they were grooming clients
Oh.
for things. And
Jeez.
you know, it had been addressed, you know, and that person, my colleague had spent some time kind of trying to go through the, I don't know if you'd call them like procedures, but making sure that what they were seeing was what they were seeing and it wasn't
Right.
misunderstanding about
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
things, you know, because again, if you're wrong, you don't want to gatekeep somebody undeservingly.
Yeah.
But there
you
were
don't want to assume.
continued issues and issues and
Okay.
issues. And this person in particular tended to favor working with girls that were underage.
Oh.
And it was a male. It was an older male.
What the helly? No.
Right.
Yeah.
And
no.
so there are people that enter this field that are looking at that power differential
Yeah.
and planning to exploit it.
And then there's people out there that don't plan to exploit it,
Correct.
but then do
Correct.
and also play the victim like that's not what this was.
Correct.
And that shit is appalling to me because I just had to deal with that of you
Preacher.
had a dual relationship.
Mhm.
Explain that for the people who may not know what a dual relationship is.
So I'm like, when you go and you're a therapist and you have a client, dual relationship is anything that's like outside, pretty much. And you correct
Mhm.
me if I'm wrong. Anything outside of the
Oh, she
Cli-
meant me.
what?
Oh, you meant me.
No, the client therapist dynamic.
Correct.
So like,
Right.
I'm not about to pay my client to go wash my car. We're not
Correct.
going to hang out after sessions.
Right.
You're not going to call me on my personal cell phone or text me
Correct.
on that.
Ooh, I've heard some stories.
Um,
Go ahead.
We're
Mhm.
we're
Damn.
not going to
Just
fuck
thought
each
about
other.
that. No.
Yeah.
right.
That's a big one.
We're not
That
going
is a
to.
big one.
That's a
We're not
biggie.
going to do that.
That's a biggie.
We're not going to
Yeah.
be roommates. We're not going to do
Correct.
any of that shit. That's what a dual relationship is.
Yes.
But you know what's crazy? Because I heard a situation like that before where a
Mhm.
therapist was seeing a client, and then
For
even
therapy.
after you can't do anything
Correct.
like that,
in
right?
Neva-
Like,
in
can
Nevada,
we?
in Nevada, the state regulation is never.
Yeah.
In some states, the regulation is within a certain time period, like 5
Right.
years, 10 years,
Yeah.
post discharge.
But yes, post discharge. But it should never be a situation where like
Correct.
a therapist is living with a client or a client is
100%.
living with a therapist. Like, absolutely never,
100%.
ever. And I've heard that before from someone. And I was
Mhm.
like, wait, what?
100%.
That's not okay. Like,
I've heard it multiple times.
that's wild.
And I actually had one of my clinical interns one
Uh-huh.
time. I found out after they had left the state that they were renting rooms
Oh, shit.
in their place to people at the clinic.
Aye.
And by the time I found out, it was too far after the fact. I'm
Yeah.
like, my hands are tied. But other people at the clinic had some awareness or had heard whispers from the clients coming in. And I'm like, you were supposed to tell me
Like,
these things.
No, you cannot. Man, the level of just abuse of power that can
Correct.
happen in that situation.
It's the optics of that's predatory fucking behavior.
It is.
exactly. No, speak
It
the
is.
truth, sis.
That's
yeah.
what it fucking is. And if
Mhm.
anybody tries to say anything otherwise, they're fucking wrong. And
Yeah.
I'll stand on business with that shit.
Yeah.
100%.
It's predatory behavior. And one of the first things that we fucking do the oath for is to do no harm.
Correct.
And if
Right.
you can't see past yourself that
Right.
you are doing harm,
Mhm.
then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Have no business
Correct.
providing treatment to anybody
Correct.
Anybody.
because you are that incompetent to even be like, I don't know how you even process shit with people because you are that incompetent to understand what the words that we all said we would abide by.
Yeah.
You can't comprehend that shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm pissed because it's so
So spill the tea, sister.
I know. I'm like, oh, some shit is about to.
I mean like
Okay, what's been on your mind?
well,
Just
I
go
got,
ahead.
I
and-
gotta do my first like report to the board.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
really?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Because we don't never like to, and it's not snitching. Okay, like let's just
Oh,
be
Yeah,
I'm clear.
isn't
Here's
it?
the thing. I
no,
don't give
no,
a
no.
fuck.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying for the streets, right? But it's her.
Trying to keep us street cred in Detroit.
Yeah. I'm
Please,
like-
we're just trying to keep our street
I
cred.
wish
sis.
somebody
Damn,
come
come on,
come
come
get
on,
me.
damn. I'm just saying we ain't snitching, right? But what I'm saying
We
is,
just proclamated.
I'm just saying. But yes, because remember when I had to report like my intern, like you know, just
that's right.
being honest, you know, certain stuff you don't want to do, right? But people put you in a position of if you are doing some fuck shit, it has to be noted, it has to be corrected because we have a duty to make sure we're taking care of the people that we serve, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So is this your first reporting to the because I've never had that other than the intern situation.
And I just got lied to my face about it. And
wait, the person lied to you about the situation? Okay, we won't go too deep. But
I'm just
so what was going on?
I don't know what limits I can go with this. That's
just
right.
Don't name names. Don't name names.
You might
information came forth. Okay. I investigated, found out it was true.
Oh,
confronted,
lied.
Yeah,
we both said the same time.
And then it was so insulting because like I'm trying to have this conversation with somebody and they're not understanding the definition of a dual relationship.
So what was the excuse?
What?
They're not understanding. Let me get to.
Okay,
they're not understanding
Okay.
any of that.
Okay.
And then on top of it, it was like rolling eyes.
Oh,
Like I was the bitch that was in the wrong. And like, that's when I had to take a step back and like, man, I'm going to lose my job today because.
Bitch, about to get choked out.
Remember that reminded me of my situation with they giving me all kind of, you know,
like you want a license
kind of
to you want a license for the smoke. I'll issue it out to you. I got no problem with that shit. Yeah, I got no problem with that shit. So yeah, that's my first one, and like I went through like all different kinds of people, like people that were my clinical supervisor,
right?
HR, legal. I did everything that I was supposed to, and just so I'm like,
correct.
Am I tripping? Like,
yeah.
Am I?
You want to know?
Am I like just this fucked up where I'm like, if I'm trying to explain something to you and you don't see it, then it's like, fuck, bitch, is it me? Like, am I the one that's
am I the asshole?
You know what I mean? And then when I go back and ask, am I the asshole? Because boy. I should have really said that on Reddit and the freaking therapists on Reddit. You guys say a bunch of squares. Yeah, so I went through everybody and the consensus is there. It's like,
wow,
I want to protect the clients and I want to protect my company because as soon as we found out, we did something about it. But but being lied to by a clinician, then it's like, yo,
that's really crazy though, because you could expect it from clients or anybody, but a clinician, like at this stage, to lie about something, like to me, that's
just
wild.
Anything. Just lie about anything, like
anything.
Like
so I look at clinicians sometimes, and I'd rather not talk to them. Like, yes, I respect you.
A little white lie is okay.
Wow, we got to bring race into it.
Okay. So, I won't even say that shit. Like, I'm fucking...
Like, you ain't got the lie, Craig.
Yeah. Like, am I just that cold-blooded?
You ain't got the lie?
Because
I'm joking because I
I
won't say it. I'll just be quiet.
Because some people do need that. And I don't... And like, just as a boss... Some people do need that, and like I cannot and will not fake it. I just can't. Like the whole, I don't remember what we were talking about, and I don't know if we said we're going to fake it till we make it. Man, I don't believe in that shit. No, because
I'll make it till she fakes it.
It's just it goes back to Shamika's story. Like I had no problem with her faking her shit because it's not gonna.
It was impressive.
Yeah, and it's not
sometimes I do that on camera.
And it's not going to affect somebody's livelihood.
For the fathers, yes.
You know what I mean? It's not going to affect somebody's livelihood. But when you start fucking with people's livelihood, then I got a fucking problem with it.
Right.
So that's why this episode is this. That's why I came in here guns blazing, because I am.
So this motherfucker lied to you.
Yeah.
I don't like motherfuckers lying to me. I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't think anyone does.
Well, I mean, it's trigger. It's fun. I realize that's
right.
But what I'm saying is
because you don't have to.
Yeah, it's just like it's an insult. Like
it is.
Especially when you know, you like, bitch, you playing with me.
That's what I'm saying. Right in my face.
Like, bitch, right in my face. No. So
right in my face playing me.
I don't like it either.
Would that be gaslighting?
No, you're a fucking liar. There's no gaslighting. I mean, I guess if the behavior like was continuous, right, that would be gaslighting.
For sure, gaslighting. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the beginning of it.
I don't even know what to say, man. Like, it's just so. I love working with this population, and then I hear them. This
so
punk
many
bitch,
people
blah.
to
I'm
date.
like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing? And again, this is not therapists, just anybody in the helping field,
right?
But I've hit my limit with. Here we go again.
And I'm not saying Nevada hire anybody, but there are some people that I'm like, no, have you really sat and looked at people and been like, how did you get that job? You know, like, really? No.
Listen, one of his interns is that. And I know that Mark sit there and says, like, no, I'm surprised you hired that bitch.
I'm trying to think which one, because there's been a couple.
Sometimes I'm sitting here like
every time.
But to be fair, one of them you hired before I got the chance to
Boy,
talk.
I didn't need that, Mark. You didn't need that. He said.
Because if you would have said before, I'd have been like, whoa.
But yes, I look at some people and I'm like, how the fuck did you even get here? You know, like.
Well, and again, people kind of, you think you know something until you find out you don't.
Yeah.
And I think I know some of the people that, I know some of the mutual people that we know from that have been hired, like they thought they knew what they were getting into till they didn't. And then one or two of them in particular had personality issues.
Personality.
Do you know how much I fucking love when Mark is supervisor of somebody that works for me.
Really?
It just,
like,
if we have to call each other, it's like, oh, bruh, what's it going to be? And on both sides, too. I'm sure he's like,
just get your shit together, kid.
Right. You get to see
Not
that.
You, them.
Right.
Sometimes me too.
But we've even had that when we've had students too, though, right?
Correct.
Even in teaching, calling each other like, hey, you know.
This one said you let them
right,
do it.
Right. You had this person like,
no.
Yeah, okay. That, I don't like that.
Well, that's what I'm like. This summer was this way. This last semester was this way. Somebody try to lie about me saying I didn't respond and only sent the upper whoever, like the part that I didn't respond after I initially responded. I was like, bitch, if you're going to be slow, oh my God, if I'm going to get in trouble, let me get in trouble for some real shit.
Right.
There's always somebody that's like, and like you missed the quiz and you're asking me for a fucking favor. And because I didn't fucking kiss your ass and respond within fucking 5 minutes, I'm the dickhead.
But that's that sense of urgency too, right?
Oh
After you haven't done what you're supposed to do, it's like, fix it. I need to hear from you now. No, that's not how that works. Yeah, no, that's not how that works.
I don't drop everything.
Right.
No, I don't drop fucking much.
Actually,
I ain't shit.
I don't remember if I told you guys about last summer where I had that student in my master's program that like was, I had to report them to the school because I'm like, they're blowing up my phone.
Really?
How'd they have your number?
Well, no, because like in case of emergencies, especially online,
it was a dual relationship.
You know.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. I was like,
I'm just kidding. No,
wrong the finger.
Bitch,
he gave me.
He did.
He gave me the Ike Turner face.
He dabbed me. I'm sorry.
He Lawrence Fishburne you like.
He did.
Dr.
You gonna sing
the song?
You gonna sing the song the way I wrote it, bitch.
Now, Tina.
Right. I said shit.
No, so in case of emergency, especially in an online program, right? Because sometimes there are technical issues that there's a valid thing, and you know if it is coming close to deadline, okay, it's there, but emergencies, and I define an emergency.
Right.
Your lateness on an assignment is not an emergency.
It's not. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and I give him my business phone because I'm only answering that during business hours.
Right.
If I'm free.
9 to 5.
And all of a sudden, this student started calling with a random question. And I'm like, well, that's not an emergency. Email that to me.
Yeah.
That's not an emergency.
Right.
Fuck your email, Mark.
Huh?
He was like, fuck your email, Mark.
Yeah, right. But then it became this thing. And by the end of the class that they were in, like within the last week or something, or 2 weeks before the end, they called my number 16 times in one afternoon.
I know you fucking lying.
No.
What?
And I just sent a message to the school because I'm like, listen.
Yeah, at this point.
But
No.
they actually did what that other student had done. They'd complained to the school, and I got a message from, and I'm like, but I came with receipts because I had the string of emails, and I put them all in there, and I basically told them, I'm like, listen, I knew this was coming because I was about to reach out to you.
I don't like
and
that.
I came with receipts. I came in with emails because they were saying I'm not answering questions. I'm doing this, and I'm like, answered, and I'm highlighting shit all the way through. I'm like, and I showed him, I sent a screenshot on my phone. I had 16 missed calls from 1 in the afternoon till about like 3.
That's not how that works. Like you.
Correct.
Boy, why am I so toxic though right now?
What?
What? First thing I thought of, as soon as this man said that shit,
What?
I was like, man, if I was his wife, I would have been like, who the fuck is
you
calling
already
your
know.
phone?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Sorry, Spoonie. You already know you began
We
that.
done picked up. Excuse me.
Yeah. But on call number 6, I'm answering it like, no.
I was
let a bitch
working.
handle it.
I was
Got
working.
my man fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's the hood rat in me.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to
right.
explain. Like,
Bitch, only I call him 16 times.
Listen, I am way too lazy to go out on that limb. I have enough trouble
But
just handling
wives do that.
home.
We crazy. That's what I'm saying. Wives, we'd be like,
That's a lot of work.
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying
want.
because I am literally fucking Joy from Friday. Like,
right.
boom. Like, ain't no way you're playing in my face. But see, that
Right.
I'm not trying to take away
I
from
know.
that. But as soon as you said it,
that's
I thought
excessive.
I would
No, it
have been
was.
in
Yeah.
somebody's ass.
No,
Yeah.
that's excessive.
No, it was.
Yeah, as a
and-
wife, you'd have been, yeah.
Well, I mean, I
you'd-
think just in general, like, who the fuck is blowing you up? Like,
Right.
it's completely disrespectful and like
Correct.
you have no
First of all, you have
tact.
no
Correct.
tact, no
Yeah.
boundaries. No, you don't get to do that.
Correct. And that was one of my points because I told, like, when I reported, I'm like, this person's not fit to be in a counseling program.
Yeah, because you should
What'd
just
they do?
know.
Well, because they have no boundaries and they were literally blowing up my phone.
no.
But the
I mean,
school,
what did the
like-
school do?
But see, that's
They
the
removed
part.
them from my class and I haven't seen them since. So,
So
I don't
hopefully they're doing their job of gatekeeping because we talked about that, right? Because it
Yeah.
feels like once it's out of our hands,
well, and that's the thing is once it's out of our
Anything
hands, it's out of our
can-
hands.
Man, don't let me say it. It
Go
doesn't
ahead.
matter. It doesn't matter
Go
what the
ahead.
fuck we say because we're not the ones paying the school.
sometimes,
Correct.
yeah, that's what I.
So
exactly.
like if
you remember my
if
situation
the
way
checks are
back
clearing,
then,
just like hers,
oh,
but that
that
student,
was
that
woo-hoo-hoo.
student's checks was clearing that school,
Woo.
and they didn't do nothing to that student.
That was
that-
a toughie. That was one I should have took my shirt off, and yeah,
I don't think that
But-
would have taught the same lesson.
I think it would have talked
I think I
a
just want to take my
lesson.
shirt
It
off.
definitely
I
would've
think I
taught
just
a
wanna take my
lesson.
shirt
A
off, right?
lesson.
Just take your
Down
shirt
the
off.
bus flying.
Yeah.
Certain kind of way to make a little change, but
Blazing Hot Mocha, stage 2.
Take the shirt off.
But yeah, remember how that was? Whatever episode we talked about that and how aggressive this person was and online and then
Mhm.
talking to me any kind of way. Like, absolutely not. And
think-
you're going to be a clinician? You are what?
I think I hit my like I'm getting old stage. Like I'm there now. I can feel
Correct.
it because I'm not putting up with shit.
Get off my lawn,
Yeah.
kid.
Like I'm literally not putting up with shit. And the one thing I'm not putting up with is a fucking therapist rolling their eyes at me. That's what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
not gonna fucking put up
Wait,
with.
that's really crazy though.
Yeah.
Wait, rolling like literally like I can't even roll my eyes right now, but like literally
Yeah,
So how'd you respond when they did that to you?
boy, because
talk about growth.
Sure.
No, seriously.
Hashtag
talk
blessed.
about growth.
Here's the thing too.
Because old school Casey would not have let little baby Jesus
has
get
really
in the way.
evolved. Okay.
So I had 2 other ladies in the room with me because I knew that. I knew I did not trust myself. I didn't. And they were both like in management and they were new. So I knew like I could only go so far with them in there.
Correct.
So because
this is true stories of a hood professional.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just what it is.
It's
but
tough for us.
I think when they just saw that shit and like there was definitely like a sense of privilege coming from the person compared to the other people that were in the room. I'll say that and leave it at that.
Okay.
If you feel what I'm putting down on the table there. And it was it happened 3 times. And on the 3rd time I said,
for those that don't know, that hand wave was don't start with your bullshit because I know some bullshit coming.
Like I just said, you're going to have to get up and go because today is not the day I lose my job.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm not going to even entertain childish behavior anymore. Like when I stop cussing in my regular talk, that's when I've gone over. Like it's a wrap. There's no coming back.
It's bad when you didn't stop because that means you really about to.
And I'm just like, I'm going to need you to collect your things and get out my face. Not now, but right now. So do I get your things. And please exit out of my sight right now.
Gotta know when to hold them
and
when to fold them.
So, right. Get your things.
Get the fuck out my face.
That is gross because
that is gross because we know like alternate ending,
I just
right like alternative
goes
ending
flying out the window.
Because I know, like, but it's
the moments though that test your gangster where you like, I know I have evolved, right? You know,
I know, but then there's times where it's like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, I'm still that bitch, and I'll knock your fucking teeth in. Like that's
Mark's saying.
Like I hate that. I hate that part about me. Like it's just. It doesn't go away, Mark, and even through therapy, it just does not go away.
That's that badass edge that you have, you know.
Right.
Just because you can punch someone's teeth in doesn't mean you have to for them to understand.
Yeah, and you won't.
You know,
but people will.
Can I get that right? I need that because really, my gangster has been that much tested that I get it. I don't trust myself anymore.
I get it. I get it. Because I just remembered the space, right, that I was in of going back and forth.
Yes.
You remember with said person. Right. And I was very professional, very calm. Hey, fine. You know, if you want to take a different route, that's okay. This is what you need to do. I need you to do this. But just the level of attitude and audacity and then constant. And I'm like, yeah, I am changed because you have no idea, right? Like you have no idea. And I think too of like, but you're about to be in the field and you not about, you are in the field and you working with clients. And then this is how you're going to talk to somebody that is your supervisor. Yeah, yeah. No, so that's when it is when I went to, the board and had to let it be known. And I took the avenues that you did too. Let me talk to people, make sure I ain't,
consult.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't ever want to pull the trigger on some shit.
Absolutely
like,
not. And everybody was like,
expert.
They did what? Said what? Yeah. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? So, no, we have a duty to do what we need to do for our job because, again, they're working with clients and clients don't have the voice that we do or may not speak up.
Correct. And the other thing I look at too in those situations is the fact that, especially if they're our intern, what they do affects our professional reputation as well.
That part too.
They are an extension of us.
Yes, that part. That's another thing, right? And be like, who was your supervisor? No, correct. You won't say Shamika, right? And they let you just,
correct.
Because if you think about it, there's people that are fully licensed. Like, where was their supervisor to stop to say, hey, there's some shit going on. Yeah. You might not need to move further, right? Yeah. No, we have.
See, that's one of those things that I'm like, I purchased the class to become supervisor, got the book.
Primary, right?
Primary.
Okay.
And and then all this stuff happens with these that I hear with these primary supervisors, and I think like there's some like really, 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 really great ones in this city, and then there's some that are terrifying that they're in the field.
Yeah,
that we're in.
100%. And
I had a trashy one.
You know, well, I've encountered them even as a supervisor where I have a primary that's their secondary, and
that too.
They make questionable, they have very questionable judgment. And I had one that really overstepped their role that I had to check.
Really?
Because it was bad enough that I had an intern that was and it wasn't even the intern that we shared that was the problem. It was them.
Really?
See, so that's the part. So were you able to, bitch, let's be honest with them?
Oh, I did.
Bitch, let's be honest moment.
No, I definitely did. And what it came down to was I had an intern that was at an agency. There were some questionable things at that agency. I had told my primary supervisee that they needed to leave that agency. They were trying, although they kept getting sucked back in because new clinicians often get sucked in that they feel a sense of obligation.
Yeah, it's definitely some things
an obligation, and that string got pulled.
Yeah,
and everything. And I had thought they left, and so I'm like, no, you need to leave. They staffed an issue in their secondary supervision. That supervisor lost his shit and started escalating a situation before I was even informed.
Really?
And for those of you that are not clinical, being the primary, before any action is taken, I should be the first motherfucker notified.
Yeah. Because you're the secondary?
Yeah.
No, I was the primary.
Oh,
they were the
primary.
Yeah, they were the secondary.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And so this guy took it upon himself to call that agency directly and start throwing out accusations, claiming that they were going to report, dropped my fucking name, and I had never met this person.
Really?
You know, and all this is going on while my intern had called me, and they had sent a text, it's an emergency, I need you immediately. And so I was able to, it just so happened at time to where I was between sessions.
Okay.
And so they filled me in with what's going on. But as they're filling me in, this person's on the phone doing these things.
See, no.
Correct. And so, you know, I had to take a step back because what I wanted to do was illegal.
Bitch, let's
be honest. And I would have been in prison.
Bitch, let's be
honest. Is
your
eye twitching right now?
There's a vein popping.
I guess, like I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah.
Because basically that secondary supervisor had ruined any opportunity I had to investigate what was actually going on.
Got it.
And I would have.
Yeah.
Because he called them making all these accusations, all this stuff. And so I called him directly and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't think I actually swore, but I may have. I'm like, what are you doing?
Literally though, what are you doing?
I'm like, I'm the primary.
Right.
I should have been called. It's my job to investigate this, not yours.
Because no, we all have our own lane, right?
Correct.
Primary has their lane, secondary has their lane. Because I'm secondary.
Correct.
I've been thinking about primary, but I'm low in the cut, right?
Right.
But as secondary, it's kind of like a co-pilot. I'm not the pilot, right? So when there's stuff that comes my way, I'm like, yes, you need to talk to your primary. But then I also make it where by this time, and I want to make sure that you're doing that, but I'm not overstepping, right? And saying like, oh, this is what's about to go, or this. Yeah. It's kind of like them people at work that work and then they think they the manager and they're not. Like, have you ever been there at that job? And it's like, bitch, you're not the supervisor, right? So no, it's like we have a certain lane.
Correct.
Because there's times where I've heard that primary was not doing their job or stuff they weren't supposed to.
Correct.
And I'll say to the intern, I've noted this and I see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you until 48 hours or however long to correct it and to see it, fine. But I'm not overstepping, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a no. That was a no. Absolutely. You don't, if you want to be head cop.
And it was a situation too where, he's like, well, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, we are going to do nothing. And I will call you tomorrow with what I decide I am going to do.
Yeah.
And from this point forward, you will not contact that other agency. And so I called my intern back, and it's funny you talk about not swearing as a sign that we're bad, because she was a little bit scared because she goes, I knew you were pissed because I heard you breathe.
Man.
I basically told my intern, I'm like, so here's the deal. You are done at that agency today.
Oh.
You let them know. And you will no longer work with that secondary as of today.
Damn.
Or if you want to continue with that secondary, I will no longer be your primary.
Oh.
Those are your choices.
That's a real pill to look. Because that secondary, I'd have been like, shit.
And
call
so,
Mark.
Yeah. And so
I can't call it.
my intern was like, so do you want me to tell him? I'm like, no, I will tell him tomorrow. And I called him back and I told him what I was going to do as far as with that agency. I told him again, you will do nothing. And my intern will no longer be your secondary. And this motherfucker, the only thing he was worried about was his professional reputation.
Bitch, you got served.
Because he's like, I do this for the school district and this and this and this and this. And, I have to testify in court as an expert witness and everything. I'm like, listen, I don't give a shit about any of that. You stepped out of your lane. You're a liability.
True.
I want nothing to do with you. And none of my interns will work with you.
Oh, man.
Worked yourself out of a job.
This is like cutthroat shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like low key nervous about doing it. But then
right.
I want it to be a nice little revenue stream.
But
for my old age.
But the whole thing,
it's
you guys would be good primaries because you have that head on your shoulders and that ability to look at the bigger picture of things. And there's a lot we need, a lot of interns need solid primaries because there's so many weak ones out there.
True.
Yeah.
The edge that you guys have and the ability to be able to even just, the street sense to know when somebody's hustling you is something
That's
that,
true.
It's underrated and how important that is in the education of future clinicians and everything, because there are a lot of really bad supervisors out here.
It is.
There are a lot.
I had a not so good secondary at some point. I mean, that was years ago but I was early intern, right? And I was like, I still was early intern, but I'm still questioning though of like, is this bitch is she qualified? Like,
right?
And I didn't even know much because I was early as an intern. And I'm like, is this am I tripping? Like, because none of this shit sounds like we should be doing this, right?
Correct.
And I remember asking the other person who had been there a long time under her and was like, nah, like she's trash. I'm thinking like, what? Why are you here?
Right.
It's like, oh, well, she only charged.
Correct. And that's part of the problem.
So I was like,
yeah, I guess it's like you get what you pay for.
Correct.
Yeah, it was, and I was, and I didn't last long. I was like, no, bitch, this is crazy.
It's.
I know.
Yeah, I don't.
Thank you, Mark, for giving a bitch her flowers. Okay, Casey. Yeah, he gave us her flowers. We should.
Yeah.
I gotta start reading the book and I gotta do it. But like the lady that I found that does this class is like so right up my alley with like her. She gives off like hippie vibes. I'm like digging her shit.
Okay.
Yeah, like she's very. She lives in
she's someone here?
No, she's in like Fort Lauderdale, Florida or something.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was on the website of the certified where you're allowed to do that shit.
Do the training and all that.
Yeah, so I'm doing the coursework now.
Let me know when you want to do the mentorship stuff.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Okay. Well, that's what I was trying to tell her because I was telling her this week, like
hers has to be AMFT approved because you're an MFT. But I do know someone that does it. So
yeah.
Because we're the CPC, so ours has to be the ACS credential, the approved clinical supervisor credential.
So it's a little different
but
route.
It is a little. It's a little bit different, but fairly similar.
Okay.
Yeah, like whatever that thing is, that's where I went and found who was allowed to teach it to me or whatever.
But yeah, like both of you would be good at it, and both of you, really I think it would.
Thinking about it,
it's important because again, there's a lot of supervisors that are supervising that just they have some niche experience in the field where they do something very specific, but they really, they don't understand a lot of what they think they understand in the field and the ins and outs. And I've had interns where there's some questionable things that get brought up, and I'm like, you can't do that.
See, that's the part I'm worried about because, like, it's a big task. So, like, once I do this, then like teaching is going to have to go away, or something's going to have to go away, like because there's no way I can do it to be appropriate. There's no way.
No more feet pics.
No, my OnlyFans feet pictures.
Right, I will have to stop dancing. It just something.
But like, I feel that. No matter how many interviews I do and put people on there, like as soon as they start doing fuck shit, they're off. Like I'm not.
But you have to have that boundary.
But I mean, you know what I mean? Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like if it was something quick, I'd be like, bitch, I don't trust you because at the end of the day, it's my license.
Yeah.
And if
we don't play about that license.
If we can't be honest with each other, like, hey, Casey, I fucked up, or we're going to do this.
Accountability.
Shuffle of, I didn't do shit. No, bitch.
I wasn't sleeping with her. She fell 16 times in a row.
Right. No.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's the accountability piece, right? If they can own their shit, and there's different levels of mistakes that are made. There's the mistakes that people will make that are very... they're common mistakes made because you just don't know what you don't know.
For sure.
There you go.
And then there's the shit like when you're taking your shirt off to go fight a client in the parking lot type shit where it's like, come on, man.
Right.
You knew.
It's levels.
Correct. You knew
this,
this was bad for everybody.
Yeah.
And you did it anyway.
Yes. Absolutely. There's levels to that.
Don't roll your eyes at me because you got in trouble.
And
that's wild. So petty that I would be like, okay, and for that, you're off my case. I would do that.
But who would even think to be like, however it was done.
Well, again, though, if you have an intern that's disrespecting you like that while you're going over something that's an issue, it's valid to be like, listen, I won't keep you on my caseload if you're going to act like that.
See, but that's the thing. I'm not giving them another chance to do it. It's
but if you lay that out,
hey, you stay back because we're about to fill out this paperwork together. You're done.
Nah, I can see you now.
Yeah,
I can see you being like,
that's the thing.
It's your first day and last day.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
She did like, Casey, is it? Okay.
You define the boundaries, and that's stuff I would lay out. That is stuff I would lay out in day one. I would say, listen, there's no 3 strikes. You get
welcome
one
to death
strike,
row, bitch.
And Suge Knight's coming out.
For real, like I don't.
I'm gonna hang you up.
12 albums.
Hang you up off the deck.
12 albums.
12 albums. We got none out. Brought these freak offs.
Right.
Okay, so that makes me. But I can just see myself being that, and then I can see myself having the same reputation that I have at the school of like it's easy. But it's not easy because like
here come this bitch.
Because I'm gonna chop a bitch's head out because I just not play with that shit and the amount of
we'll hide the body with you.
Yeah, there's just the amount of like interns, including myself at some point. There's sometimes where we don't think or we don't know or whatever. We got to be fast with an answer, but.
Get us together, Mark.
Yeah.
So we can find the middle. Right. Because then I don't want to be the dumb, slow bitch. Like, no, okay. Okay, no.
But
we broke up? Don't worry about it. No,
at the end of the day, though, that's the whole thing, right? If you're uncertain about a situation, that's why you consult.
Right.
But it's also okay to have that boundary in place. And, if somebody's going to sit there and try to play you, because essentially if they're lying to you and they're rolling their eyes at you, they're trying to play you.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, it's plenty of times I done called you Mark on some shit. Just business shit. Regular. 100%. You don't be like, do this sound right? You like.
And half the stuff I tell you is because I've made the mistake doing it the other way.
Okay.
And it doesn't work.
Yeah. Mark will give you some real shit. Like, he'll be like, so they want to do what? And they gonna, I don't know if that's ethical, right? Or, because some shit has, there we go. Some shit has been presented to me. I forgot about that little situation where it was like a clinician and psychologist and, a working team, and they make it sound all good. And if you don't know, right, it could sound like, oh, this could be. But then part of me, I'm like, I don't know if this is right. That don't make sense. Let me hit up my homeboy, right? I'm like, Mark. Mark's like, nah, I wouldn't say yes to that. Yeah. Because you don't have to take anything, right? You don't have to do anything. But I think that's the great ability of us being in the roles that we're in, to have the ability to say that. Like, nah, I'm not. That's just some shit I'm not going to do. Yeah, or stand for.
Yeah. It's like I feel like I'm at a different stage in like my career now where like.
Well, how much do you have to lose if you don't keep those boundaries?
No. It's not about that. But I'm just saying I'm trying to find something that's going to keep money coming, but it's not so much. But I wanted to cut off some things, and I got some
that
wiggle room.
Sense.
I got some wiggle room to work with, and then it's more long term. Like I can just, you know what I mean? It's just the way that my mind was
time in.
But it, man,
share your wisdom, Casey.
I just feel sometimes like
share it with the masses.
How you guys deal with some of your guys' clients is way different than mine, and that's why because then I'd be stepping almost into your realm a little bit.
And that's
hear me
okay.
out. Yeah, hear me out. That do you guys
no,
understand?
We didn't hear you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm like, because you guys sometimes have bougie clients.
Not sometimes, all the time.
Okay, all the time.
That's
bougie
fair.
clients. Okay,
that's fair.
So like the stuff that we
that's
stuff
fair.
that
this is not news.
Okay, so the stuff that we talk about with our clients is completely different.
100%.
So, but the way I look at it is that if I get into the supervisor game, I'm going to be dealing with these bougie ass fucking people too now.
Oh, that's what I
meant. Like,
but
that's where I think that edge though is really important, because those bougie ass interns need to understand that life isn't always so good. And nobody's taught them that. They've lived a charmed life from day one. And it's a hard lesson, that comes with, there are times when you're working with a population that doesn't eat for days or weeks. It's a different world and everything, but they need to understand that it's different.
Right.
They need that knowledge.
But then you also are going to find people that look like you, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
That need you. Because just like we were texting the other day when I was talking to my intern, and I made that quote from Belly, right? The movie Belly. And I was like, if it had not been that intern, you would not have understood, right? The quote that I was giving and throwing out. And I was like, oh, this feels good. And that's why maybe I need to advertise more, but I don't. I just let them find me because I don't want to be for everybody. I'm not for everybody, right?
I used that line today.
Yeah, I'm not for everybody. And
I'm aware of it.
That's okay. But when I have people that do come in and be like, I was searching the list and I seen your name and I just knew, like, I was like, yeah, bitch, Shamika's very given black, right? Like, I know you looked at that list and seen all these names.
You didn't think Shamika, that sounds Spanish.
Shamika Green, you were like, she's Portuguese. No, you were like, oh, that bitch is black. Right?
I wonder if she's Japanese.
Right. Let me call her. Exactly. And so if I did it, it would be for the people. I think for me, because I wanted a black supervisor. I didn't get that. But I got some dope ones that were good. But no, I would have to be that said person.
So speaking of that, I did meet up with that student that wanted to meet up with me.
Did you?
I did.
How'd that go?
She came to my work.
One of our listeners, right?
Yeah. She came to my work.
I don't know the story.
So
You
one
didn't
of
get
Mark's,
it fully, but okay.
yeah, one of Mark's folks that wanted to meet with me because
Actually, I think she's had either Shamika or you as an instructor. I can't remember.
I can't remember either
Really?
what she said.
Okay.
Yeah. But
She'll
she
correct
came,
me once she hears this episode.
so she
Okay.
came and saw me and saw like where I worked.
Saw
and
you in person?
Yeah.
She's been dying to.
Saw Casey in person?
And like I'm talking early on a Friday morning, like
What?
8:00. She
Yeah.
came through to
She's
where
a good
I
kid.
worked.
She's a good kid.
Mhm.
No, but I'm saying, like, that's okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And so like she was saying the same shit about how it was important to her to have somebody that
Yeah.
looked like her. The last name Casillas like
Mhm.
stood out to her. You know what I mean? Like it
that's the
it says
answer
some-
right there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it triggered once you said that because then she was talking to me about shit, and I just sat there and I thought, like, this is another reason why,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm doing this. If I started off doing it for the community,
Yeah.
now I'm doing it for the kids that are in the community that could continue on this, like, trailblaze I'm trying to do to,
100%.
you know what I mean,
100%.
to help the culture.
You
to
know,
help
because
the culture.
because Hispanic culture in general, you know, therapy is not a thing.
Mm-mm.
You know, and there's a lot of resistance to it, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you know, it's white people shit.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
real
bitch,
people.
let's
Yeah.
be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
No, literally it is.
And, you know, having somebody that understands, that can relate, that has knowledge of these dynamics goes a long way, and not just as a client, but as an intern too.
Yeah.
And that's why I encouraged her to reach out, you know,
I
because
love that.
she had wanted to. You've met her.
Really?
You've met
Yeah,
her.
and I felt bad because it was
Okay.
like right when I came back from Japan, and then
Uh-huh.
when all that other stuff happened that I told you guys.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like she was trying to get in where she fit in, and
Yeah.
I was honest with her. I was like, "Listen, I might not be in the best mental headspace right now, just due to some circumstances."
Yeah.
And then she was just like, when I explained it to her, she was like, "Fuck, like
Yeah.
you just deal with that shit." I was like, "This is
Wow.
life."
Yeah.
Like,
So being
This
real.
is-
But
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think for her that's a benefit too, though, because she's going deep into this field.
yeah,
You know,
I
and
heard.
to be fair, she will do great things in this field. But, you know, that perspective, you know, because she's worked with similar levels, population, you know, severe mental illness,
Mhm.
drug addiction, all that stuff, you know, homeless, all that stuff. You know, and so there's some perspective, but yeah, no, I think it was a very important meeting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes me. Mm-hmm.
We don't just cuss. we do good things, too.
right.
Yeah.
We don't
We
do
build
just
the
hand
community.
jobs. Yeah, we do other stuff too. No, that's dope. I think we have a purpose, right? We have a purpose, and we should be stepping into that role. We should do it. That was my only reason for
Yeah.
being secondary, and now considering primary. It is because, again, yeah, we need to see some Black
Right.
supervisors.
Good ones.
Yes, good
Because
ones. Yeah.
Because again, the quality of the supervisor matters, and you know, and
Absolutely.
I'm not saying the Black supervisors that are in the community are all trash or anything, but
Because smart.
there needs to be solid people in the field.
Absolutely.
Just in general.
But it's
Yeah.
not a
Just
lot
saying.
of us, though. It's just what I'm saying. It's not a
Correct.
lot. I had an amazing Black
Correct.
man who was, but as far as like a woman, I think I tried to meet with 2 and it just didn't work. But it was few far in between.
100%.
It was not any, you know. So
Yeah.
no, I would like to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, any final thoughts?
Bitch, be honest. Fuck. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with who you are. Because if you're that bitch that still wants to square up with people that you feel the need to fucking stand by some shit, even though their circumstances do not match yours, grow the fuck up.
Mhm.
Like, be honest with yourself. If you're trying to be a professional, fucking keep it a buck. Please.
Okay.
If I sit across from you from an interview, don't fucking lie to my face.
Correct.
Let me just say that
Correct.
for the record. It's on record now.
Word.
That's all I gotta say.
Listen, I mean, there's nothing else to be said. I mean, my mind goes elsewhere, and I don't think it's appropriate. So I'll just keep
So
it.
that's really stopped us before.
Yeah.
just be honest with yourself. But I was thinking about like, I'm so fucked up in the head. When I hope don't nobody report me. But thinking about just being honest with yourself where you at, but thinking about like how a guy would tell you like, I'm gonna give you this dick, right? Or it's gonna be good, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and the shit is trash.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
About everything.
Yeah.
God.
You're small, you're small. Just be honest.
Boy.
Wow. Why are you looking at me?
I look right in your eyes.
She just
so
makes
fucking
awkward
sorry.
eye contact. She's like, if you're small,
I'm so
you're
sorry.
small.
I'm screaming.
Talk about creating shit with my wife. Baby, she ain't never seen my dick.
I'm so sorry to the whole
Ain't
Brana
never.
family.
Kid's gonna be in foster care tomorrow.
Right. I look dead at Merc.
I'm gonna look at the news. Local man stabbed by wife.
Right.
Tonight at 10.
I look dead at Merc and said, let's be honest.
All I'm gonna say to wrap this shit up is own your shit.
Yes.
And if you're gonna tell me something that ain't true, take the words of Dave Chappelle and shut the fuck up.
Don't fuck with my money and don't fuck with my D. Fuck.
Yeah.
There we go.